My 11 Circle presents Cricbuzz Live. It's lucky that when we come on air, you don't get to see all the chaos and the pandemonium that happens behind the scenes. Because when the last 2 overs started, in fact, maybe 4-5 overs ago, Zaheer Khan, with his prediction for the My 11 Circle expert couch, was very much in the thick of things with those wickets falling. Then suddenly, it became a two-horse race, and it was very close by a neck. It's Harsha Bhogle on the couch.
I was going to say, give me red, but you took it all. Yes, feels good, but this is a bit of a, what is tuka? But you know, the good thing is, I had given up, to be honest, I had given up, but Shardul Thakur has now done it twice in 2 innings. So you can't just say it came off. Obviously, there's much more to him than just came off. He's got a clean strike. I think this should be enough, 200. I mean, most times you win with 200.
But the first time we obviously saw it was in the IPL. Both him and Deepak Chahar showed their wares, what they can do down the order. But so it's obviously not a surprise for Team India, but it was very timely given what they had done with changing their batting order and that 7 to 15 stage. Things did start to go wrong.
Well, I mean, that's what the format brings to you, isn't it? It's such an unpredictable format, and a couple of overs here, there, you can lose the momentum, and if you lose wickets, that certainly never really helps in terms of keeping that tempo. So once you have that kind of a tempo, which we saw at the 10-over mark, you would expect the batters going in to keep up with that tempo, and that's what Sanju Samson was trying to do. That's what all the batsmen were trying to do. In the process, lost wickets, but I think in the end, the recovery has been really good. They set it up for 200 is at midway mark and achieved it. So I think they should be happy with that total.
Yeah, we saw 5 overs for 63. The real story was 4 overs 59 at the end. KL Rahul, Shikhar Dhawan starting it off with that partnership, but then towards the end, Manish Pandey and the name that's not on the screen, Shardul Thakur, only because he was 4th in terms of highest runs, but striking at 275 and with a magnificent set of striking at the end. 19 and 14 it was, I think, in the last 2 overs from Lahiru Kumara.
I'm just trying to see when the spinners finished, because I don't know if the dew will increase between now and the next. Wanindu Hasaranga bowled the 16th over for 4 runs, and that is when the spinners got over. Then Matthews, Lahiru Kumara and Malinga went for 59 from 4. So maybe there's something in there for the spinners. When the batsmen are going for it, the wrist spinners always do well. They played their version of Kulcha against India today.
Correct?
Yes.
You know, it was their version of Kulcha against us. Let's find a word for it.
Yeah. So we've got to make one.
Sandakan and Hasaranga.
Sandakan and Hasranga.
Hassan. But Hassan is a place in Karnataka.
Saha.
Ah, okay.
Their own Saha.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, you have to say Sandakan was, or as Rasalan liked to say, Sandakan. He keeps reminding you it's Sandakan.
There's no doubt about it. He was impressive. I think he's got the variations. He held it together, and wasn't easy when you have a great start. And he was the one actually who changed the momentum. So that's something which Sri Lanka should look at it from going forward as well. I think the variation, the wrist spinners have been making that impact in this format, and Sri Lanka have got 2 of them right now making that impact at this level. So I think that's something which has been a positive from this series for Sri Lanka for sure.
But interesting that he came in as an emergency replacement in a sense because Udana was injured. Yeah. Had Udana been fit, would he have been in?
I don't know. I mean, we don't know. Udana is a specialist sort of death bowler. He takes the pace off. I don't know on tracks like these where the bowlers who take the pace off are that effective on these lovely batting surfaces. So as it turns out, he got his chance. He took it. I was also impressed with Hasaranga. Look, Samson didn't pick the wrong one. I don't think Shreyas Iyer picked a wrong one early on. Was it Shreyas? Yeah. No, Shreyas hit a boundary and then got out. Maybe Pandey. One of them didn't pick a wrong one early on. But look at the difference between seam and spin. 6.75, 8.75 and 4 wickets.
Correct. 8 overs for 62 for 4 for 62 for the 2 spinners. And I think that really says, okay, I'm not counting that 1 over from De Silva. But I mean, really, it was Angelo Matthews. We were saying who's going to be the all-rounder. Will Matthews play as an all-rounder?
Shanaka.
Yeah.
He didn't bowl Shanaka today.
They didn't bowl Shanaka, so he was out of it.
So, I mean, Matthews has been a good bowler, but he's a bit rusty now. I don't know how much he has bowled in the build-up to this, but they picked him up. They just took him on. I think it's too good a surface for Matthews to bowl. I mean, we're all talking in hindsight. When the ball stops and comes a little bit, his sort of doubly slow medium pace comes in handy. But they just went after him. How good was that Kohli straight drive? Well, straight right, went for six, but how good was that shot? I like that one. There was one that Shikhar cut, and I would have loved to see the speed on that.
But I'm glad you mentioned Shikhar Dhawan, because otherwise it would be 2 matches in a row where we are only talking about one single shot from Virat Kohli. That's the impact that he has when he plays some of his special strokes. But since you did mention Shikhar Dhawan, now that problem of plenty continues to be a bigger problem.
You know, when Shikhar started, he looked so rusty. He wasn't getting his timing right. He was trying to go too hard at the ball.
Some engine oil was put in there, so it sorted out.
But 10 balls later, suddenly you saw the old Shikhar Dhawan again. And as I've always said, when he gets going, he's such a joy to watch.
And he was today.
He was. I think the start was important. I think in any format we speak about that tempo, that initial innings matters so much. So I think so from that point of view, I think KL Rahul is just continuing with his form, and if someone is scoring runs at that rate, Shikhar also is going to have that much luxury in terms of taking his time. So it's absolutely fine as long as the partnership is building nicely, and the scoring rate is what is required, and yes, that first power play was really good for Indians. I think from Sri Lanka's side, I think using Matthews was maybe it felt like they're a bowler shot, and that will be the difference between the Indian bowling lineup and Sri Lankan bowling lineup. Lahiru Kumara was the only one who could really crank it up, but other than that, they lacked pace, and I think that's something which you will see from the Indian bowling innings as well. That pace which Sri Lankan batsmen will have to deal with now in their batting innings can be the difference, yeah.
But the power play...
Sorry, just a minute. Zach talked about the partnership. I'm just looking at the score after 4 overs. After 4 overs, Lokesh Rahul 24 of 13, Shikhar Dhawan 12 of 11. So Lokesh Rahul has allowed Shikhar Dhawan the time, and then you see after that, he scored at almost twice the rate that Rahul has scored. So
on Cricbuzz Combox, we were talking about that because while we were watching the game, we were giving the analogy of the rally driver and the navigator. They sort of switched roles.
You were doing it with Ajay, right? Ajay's
yes.
favorite,
it had to be
favorite analogy.
It had to be him. So they switched roles, but what it did show was the approach from Team India in the power play, and hence the approach while batting first. Remember what happened against the West Indies? Lost the toss, batted first, got 240. And that's what we're talking about. The last 2 games, the one at the Wankhede and in Pune, 12 in that power play and then 63 here. So I think that is what the change that India have consciously made.
What did you make of Virat batting at 6? My feeling was he's picked Samson, he's picked Manish Pandey. Both are getting a game after a long time. If they're 5 and 6, there's a chance that they'll come in with 10 balls left, and that's not fair on them. So I thought it was a very positive move from team management, saying, listen, we're giving you a chance. Giving you a chance doesn't mean you hide around at 5 or 6. Here, come on, take as many balls as you want.
Take your time. The platform was set beautifully today. So that is something which was good to see. It was a conscious effort and a clear-cut plan, and it wasn't a last-minute decision where they waited till they get a good start and then decided, okay, we will promote. It was from the word go. You've seen Sanju Samson being padded up, so he was given that number 3, and we were discussing before the match as well, whether it will happen or no. Maybe Sanju Samson has to adapt his game to number 6. So good that he didn't have to, and that's something which is a positive sign. Yes.
What it also did was, Ajay Jadeja's favorite topic, by the way, he's up in the Hindi studio at the moment, is batting at 6 is different. You can be the biggest player in the world at 3, come and bat at 6. So it is interesting to see how Kohli was adjusting at 6.
But you have to love the analogy. It's like being on the other side of the bridge. It's either living in the
skyscrapers,
slums or among the skyscrapers.
Yeah, with the others.
So Kohli was sort of hobnobbing with the slums and trying to figure out how to bat with that, but you'll always get that out of Ajay Jadeja. But just a little word on India's bowling as they start this defence of 201. Remember, the change in no Shivam Dube means they're 1 bowler short. They don't have a 6th bowling option. Will that make a difference, or is 201 enough?
Someone has to. Normally you say, look, I've picked 5 bowlers. You go 3 overs, 35, you still got to come and bowl the 4th, right? if someone goes off injured, that's the only time you look for a sixth. Maybe Shreyas will bowl this,
Virat Kohli himself.
or Virat.
Yeah, he'll have to put his hand up. But we are talking about a extreme scenario. You know, if someone goes down injured. Apart from that, I think they should be able to manage with these bowlers, because these bowlers have been regularly bowling their quota of overs in this format. So I think that's the conscious effort which they've made. I always prefer the six bowling option. Whether you use it, you don't use it, but it's always good to have that cushion, because if someone goes injured, you know, you actually don't have anyone to look to, and that's something at times can be problematic. Also, you can get stuck if someone is having an off day. So that is something which I think they've gone with the previous game, saying that okay, fine, we are trusting these bowlers. They've done a good job, and we are okay with if someone is having an off day, we'll still be able to do the job. That is the thought process. If they go in with the same kind of intensity and the similar kind of pace battery is working with the areas, with the clarity of thought, I think, you know, this Sri Lankan batting lineup will find it very hard to chase down this tournament.
It's interesting with the dew.
That's just going to say the final thought.
The wrist spinners got the ball to turn. That means there couldn't have been that much dew. Yet when they were diving, it was looking moist over there. You could see the marks there.
There will be dew for sure. I think, you know,
The local
dew is already there, but the
He's
wicket
the local
has
knowledge. He's got these food chains in Pune.
it's an open ground, right? So actually it will be beneficial for the fast bowlers as well. You will see some swing as well with the new ball. If little bit of dew around, at times it helps bowlers as well, you know, with that little grip on the surface, especially with the new ball. So that is something which we'll have to wait and see how it goes. But Bumrah, I think, will be more relaxed today. In the previous game, he looked like, you know, there was some nerves. I think those nerves will settle nicely. The game time, what he was looking for, he got out of the way. So today, I think he'll be the guy to watch out for.
Hey, look, relaxed Bumrah, charged up Saini, and of course we've got Shardul Thakur always among the wickets. So even though there's no sixth bowling option, the panel reckons 5 bowlers are enough. Final thought, 201 enough on the board?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes, I think so. Overall, we average that into a yes. We'll see you 10th over Cricbuzz Combox. Where will Sri Lanka be in their run chase? Of course, at the end, we'll wrap it all up. My 11 Circle presents Cricbuzz Live.